It's a blessing to welcome on a top 50 prospect in 2021, the first guy to start off a top 30 recruiting class at Colorado, and Lawson Lovering. How you doing, man?
Hey man, how are you?
Pretty good. Well, let's just get into this. It's now been about a year that you've been committed to Colorado, and you're kind of the face of this entire recruiting class. What's it been like now as you get closer and closer to stepping foot on campus in a year from now?
It's exciting. I've been on that campus a couple times already, and I just want to be there for good, this upcoming year. So really excited.
A year ago, you commit, and not a lot of people knew who you were. You haven't skyrocketed up the rankings yet. A year now, you come to today, you're up in the top 50. You're being ranked. People are all saying you could have even possibly land a lot more offers if you didn't commit that early. Just seeing your growth and the attention you've gotten the past year, what's it like seeing that?
Yeah, it's the hard work's paying off. Obviously living in Wyoming, it's hard to get looks, and I think I finally started getting those looks with my AU team, and I think I surprised a lot of people this summer.
And that's something that's unique because we don't hear Wyoming is a basketball powerhouse. We don't hear a lot of guys
Yeah.
coming out of there. But you found a way to manage to not only come out of there and play Division One, but you're going to high major. You're being ranked as a top player. There's very few guys that have done that from your state. Just seeing that accomplishment, what does that mean to you?
Oh, it means a lot. It means a lot. I know there's been great players, but yeah, they haven't really gotten recognized as I have. But um, just want to make Wyoming basketball great. So hopefully I'm the start of it.
How'd you manage to do this? Like, what would be your tips to different guys trying to rise up in Wyoming or another small state to reach the point you've reached now?
Just hard work, hard work. 'Cause, we're from Wyoming, so we got to work harder than everybody else because we're not gonna get the attention. But hard work and exposure. You need exposure to get seen by these college coaches.
One way some guys do it is
Yep.
taking a prep route, going to another state and playing at a big national school. Was that something that ever crossed your mind? Did you ever consider that move?
I've had, prep schools contact me and all that, but I'm a loyal guy, you know, and I'm just gonna stay with my high school team. I love my school, I love playing with those guys, all my friends, love my head coach. So, stay for one last year.
That's awesome, man. Well, you look at Colorado now in the past year since you commit there, you have landed another top 50 player in Quincy Allen, as well as guys like Javon, Julian, really putting together a top 30 class now. Seeing the way this class continues to progress, what's it like and what's your expectations for this group?
Oh, I think we're building a great core there with us four, all great players. It's fun to see how, I'm the first commit and all these other guys coming in. Fun to see how it's all building up. So I'm real excited to play with those guys.
Let's talk about Quincy for a minute. He's a guy that's now the third all-time Colorado commit. You're number seven. Both you guys are two of the best players ever to commit to Colorado. What kind of did it take for you guys to want to become that and decide that Colorado is where you guys want to go as top prospects?
It's an up and coming program. Coach Boyle, the coaching staff is great. It's in a great city, Boulder. Pac-12 conference. Like, there's not much more you can ask for. In an out of college program, and I think he saw that, and we both saw that, and both committed. So.
Have you started to build a relationship with him? And if so, how's that kind of progressing right now?
I've only talked to him maybe like once, so
Hmm.
um, I think we're mostly going to build our relationship once we actually get there. But it's kind of hard through text and everything. So,
Are there any other targets you guys have? Anyone else you guys are looking at possibly trying to bring in with you guys?
I haven't really done much recruiting myself or looked, but I know I trust the coaches to find the right guy for us.
And you look at what Colorado was able to do last year, 21-11. They did finish up sixth in the Pac-12, a little bit of slippage on the end of the year. But then being a top-ranked team for a lot of the season, how much of an impact and what was it like seeing what they were able to do last year kind of affect you in terms of your confidence heading into Colorado in a year?
It's inspiring to see those guys, do so well last season. Like, when us four come in, we could do the same thing right there and get to the tournament. And yeah, really inspiring, honestly.
There's a lot of talent there. Some guys will be seniors this upcoming year that you guys will fill in, as well as starting to put guys in the NBA, which is the big attraction point. Seeing this kind of pipeline of guys trying to go to that league now, how attracting and how appealing is that to you?
That's one of the appeals for me going to Colorado is Coach Boyle knows how to develop guys, him and his coaching staff, and that's the ultimate goal, NBA, and So we'll see.
Now, Pac-12 hasn't always been looked as the best conference in America or anywhere really near that in terms of the Power Five schools. But last year was the first year that they really had a lot of big time teams. But next year they have a lot of top 10 players in the country going there, a lot more talent and spotlights coming on the Pac-12. How excited are you to get in there and compete against some of the best players in the country now?
Oh yeah, that was also part of the reason going to Colorado. Pac-12 is a great conference. I love the West Side of America, uh, and it's just great players every night. Every night playing great players, NBA guys every night. And that's good experience for me.
Let's go back a year ago. You committed to Colorado. Why were you so confident at that point in time to commit?
I've talked to a lot of schools, and after I went on my official there, is like this is for me. I loved everything about that school. It's close to home, hour and a half away from my house. Great coaching staff. Pac-12. It's in Boulder, beautiful city. I just felt at home there. So just committed early. I didn't want to talk to any more coaches. They're always bugging me and like that's my spot.
So you were one of the first guys in the entire country, and we see a couple of those guys every year come as juniors, and that's not kind of surprised some people. Some people wonder why that early. Now it has benefited you guys this year because you guys didn't have to go through the COVID recruiting year. But over this time now, were you ever considering possibly waiting out a little bit longer and waiting until maybe after junior season to commit?
Originally I thought that until I went on my official to Colorado, but I got lucky and committing early before all this COVID business. But you know, uh, I didn't want to deal with any more coaches calling and texting them, because I just want to focus on basketball, not on the colleges really at all. So yeah, I just committed early.
You keep bringing up this visit, and that's a big thing for a lot of guys. But what exactly went down the visit? Why was that the turning point that you knew Colorado was the right place?
I think what turned me was just I sat down and talked to Coach Boyle for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and he's just so real. He's down to earth guy. He's a nice guy, and like I just want to play for that dude. So that's really what turned me to go to Colorado.
A lot of people don't know Coach Boyle yet. Colorado hasn't become the powerhouse they could become in the future. What are his expectations for you? If you are there for 4 years or just the next 4 to 5 years for Colorado basketball, what can fans expect for that?
I think they're going to expect a pretty good team for the next 4 years. We already have a good team there at Colorado. I think another good 4 years with that. Hopefully beyond that. So uh, I think they should be excited for us.
Absolutely. Well, you had a lot of offers on the table, but we know potentially you could have a lot more because of how well you played in the AU circuit this past year. Did it ever cross your mind of possibly reopening and looking at other schools?
Yeah, like I said, I'm a loyal guy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, once I commit to something, I'm not going to break it. So I'm staying with Colorado. But if I like you said, if I did decommit, I probably would have a lot more schools calling. But you know, a lot more people in my ear. I don't really need that. So
When you went on that visit, what were some of the guys on the current Colorado team that were talking to you, you kind of hung out with?
Evan Batty I was with him at the football game against USC, and then I went to Dallas Walton, 7-footer there, to his apartment, and hung out with him over there. So those two guys, really two big guys. So
Evan's always the guy that team seems to be with the recruits, always he's kind of the heart and soul of this team right now.
oh
What's
yeah,
just being around him? How funny is it? What's it just kind of be like? What's it like being around Evan?
oh he's just everybody loves him. He's so positive. He's full of energy. He's the heart of the team. He keeps everybody together. Like he's just a great leader. He's a great guy.
Absolutely, man. Well, let's talk about your high school season. Last year, you guys went 20-3, lost the second round of playoffs. You had a pretty solid season, though. But kind of break down your season. What was it like last year?
So yeah, so we went undefeated in Wyoming, and the only loss we had all season was in Nebraska. But we came to the tournament, and then we lost the regional tournament. We lost 2 games in a row, got knocked out. So I think we peaked a little too early, and we got roughed up in regionals for sure.
Now, you averaged 13 and a half points a game, almost 9 rebounds, almost 2 blocks a game. How do you kind of grow on that? What's your averages that you want to try averaging next year?
You know, I want to average probably, around probably 18 and 10 next season. My averages dipped, my scoring averages dipped, this last year because um, we have more scoring options, and that's why we're a better team. My sophomore year, they really just relied on me for scoring. So, um, it's going to be harder to, up that average, but I think I can because we still have a lot of options on our team.
You go out there now, you kind of have a spotlight on you. Like I said before, there's not a lot of high profile guys out there in Wyoming. Everyone knows who you are. You're a 7 foot guy that has going to Colorado, top ranked player. How have you dealt with that pressure?
Yeah, there's always a target on my back, a a lot of haters, but, it's good for me. It's good for me. But it's really helped me mature, and I'm grateful for it.
I can imagine even before you got the spotlight, just being the taller guy, being this kind of talented player that people well know, it's kind of always been there with you. How did you kind of deal with that? When did it really start click then? You started realizing how you could handle that, and at what age was that?
It's probably probably going into my sophomore year. I was asked to, score a lot of points for the team. A lot of double teams, triple teams. Because I'm the tall guy, the 7 footer.
Mhm.
And and I realized what I can become, and just hard work from there.
Some people have kind of guessed where your height is. Some people say 7 foot. Some say 7 foot 1 with just 9 foot 1 reaching span. What kind of is your measurements right now?
Yeah, probably 7 foot, 7 foot 1. I haven't really measured in a while. Yeah, everybody says I look like 7'1", but I think I'm 7. So I guess we'll see if the official measurement at CU.
And it takes time to grow into that. It's not an easy height. Not many people reach 7 foot. How did you learn to get used to this body?
I think this last year I finally have grown in my body a little bit more. I think my first 2 years of high school, I was definitely, uncoordinated, lanky, and just not very strong. But I think growing in my body has really helped me, and I think that's really helped, boost my ranking at the same time.
You're also young for your age. In a modern day of basketball, where a lot of guys are getting held back and they're typically a year older than the grade is, you decided to stay a lot younger. How have you used that to your benefit? And what is your peak? You started a long time being that young. What's kind of your peak? Where do you see yourself developing into?
Yeah, I'm young, and I also have a really young body age, in my opinion.
Mhm.
And so I think, I'll peak. I think I'll peak it definitely in in college, but yeah, I'm definitely not physically mature yet. So uh, a lot of good things going for me in the future.
What does Coach Boyle and the rest of the staff kind of want from you your freshman season?
I think they expect me to contribute a little bit, behind Evan Batty and maybe Dallas Walton. So I think they expect me to be, effort guy, defensive guy, rebounding guy. My freshman year, maybe contribute a little bit. So I think I'm gonna. I think I might play, but it's just up to how well I do once I get there. Nothing's set in stone. I got to work. So
And you obviously want to get as many minutes as possible that you can work
yeah.
for over the next course of the next season, next year. What's the biggest things you want to improve on so you're most prepared for college basketball next year?
Just my strength, man. My strength. That's what's gonna, obviously, I'm a little underweight to play college basketball. 7 foot 220. May not be strong enough to bang with some of those guys. So definitely my strength to get in the games.
Over time, however long you stay at Colorado, what does Coach Boyle want you turning into? Is there kind of a comparison or a player he wants you developing into?
I think uh, he hasn't really talked to me about this much. So we'll see once I get there.
Who would you say maybe is a guy you kind of compare yourself to or you want to maybe play like in the future?
I think like Maxi Kleba on like the Mavericks. I think I compare to him a lot. Kind of a guy who just you can shoot three, he can play good defense, rebound. You know, really versatile guy basically.
And I do like that because a lot of guys typically say the best player at whatever position they run. For you, it might have
Yeah,
been like Anthony Davis, but we know there's only
yeah.
so many of those guys in the world. What kind
I
of
know
gives
my
you
limits. Yeah.
What kind of gave you the idea of finding a guy that you could possibly play like a kind of role player that still makes a successful career and living in the NBA like Maxi Kleber does? What kind of gave you the inspiration to want to go follow him and kind of develop your game like has?
I've just been watching, watching the NBA and just trying to figure out, yeah, who do I compare to,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and that's the guy that really stuck it in my head, but and everybody else was saying that too, so I just kind of stuck with it.
You mentioned a key point. Being a big man today is not like it was 10, 15 years ago where it's just down low on the block. You have to be
Yep,
more mobile. You have to sometimes even guard guys on the wing, like Ben Adebayo has been doing, possibly searching out Schumann through like Brooke Lopez. How do you
yep.
incorporate the new modern day big men to your game?
Yeah, just be able to move my feet a lot more, being a lot more mobile. I know I am mobile at 7 foot,
Mm-hmm.
that's what everybody likes about me, but yeah, just be able to move my feet, be able to shoot, from the outside, and it's probably even a little bit more ball handling now these days.
You have had the opportunity, I mentioned a couple of times, to play some AAU basketball. You got some games in this past year. What are those games like? Just getting back on the court again.
Oh, it was fun. It was fun, from my last year. Um, it was fun playing with my guys in AAU from Utah. One last year. Been with those guys for 3 years, so it was a fun experience.
You look back at your AAU career. What's some of your favorite memories that come to mind?
Um, Probably this whole summer. I love this whole summer. It was fun. It may not have been what I thought it was going to be, but it's all right. I got to play with those guys, so it was very memorable.
While you were sitting at home, basically doing some kind of training though, during this whole COVID lock-in quarantine time, what were some of the biggest things you focused in on that we'll be able to see once you get back on the court again?
I think mostly my shooting, my consistency with that. I have great form, but it's just not very consistent. And then also just probably my strength and just cleaning up my footwork down low.
That's awesome. One more thing before I let you go. I was like talking about building a legacy for yourself, which is something I think all guys want to do. So when you are done playing basketball someday, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want your legacy to be as a basketball player, both but also as well off the court?
Just a guy who always works his butt off. Just works hard every day. Just a nice guy too, down to earth. Just a great player. So yeah.
No doubt, man. I know some guys have a passion that God kind of gives them during the career when they make it. Is there kind of an avenue in life that you really want to try helping in or impacting when you do have the money and you make it to the league?
Yeah, I want to come back here in Wyoming and help out with the kids here, the youth here, because we don't get a lot of opportunities up here, and it's hard to get out, and play at college basketball. So I want to really help the kids here and help them achieve that dream.
That's awesome, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on today. Best of luck this upcoming season. I can't see what God's got next for you, man.
All right, dude, thanks.
Hey, man, you always welcome on. God bless.
All right, you too.